Good morning, my fellow reptiles. For those of you who don't know, I have been severely sick over the past week and a half to where it has severely affected my video production making like I've been doing. I normally make videos every single day on my channel, but that hasn't been happening lately due to my sickness. I haven't been this sick in almost 2.5 years, so I'm finally just now getting my voice slightly coming back. So if it sounds like I've went through puberty 6 or 7 times and my voice is pitchy high and low, I apologize, but there's really nothing I can do about that. But this video is a video that I've been kind of hesitant to make because I'm going to be sharing to you with some information about me which is very, very personal. This is something I've never shared with the interwebs before, and I'm a very open person about myself as an individual, so I'm pretty much an open book when people ask me questions. However, I've never actually talked about this on my channel, and today we're going to be talking about the lovely topic of celibacy, masturbation, and pornography. All 3 topics in one video, all about my personal life. Ooh. Last night I received a question submitted on my Tumblr, however you say it, and it reads like so. You've mentioned in a few of your videos that you are celibate. I can understand you being a virgin because of your geekness, but how do you remain celibate? Don't you at least watch porn or masturbate or something? You know, I absolutely love how in your question you assume because if someone is geeky, therefore they're automatically a virgin. And in my case, this is true, but that's not necessarily true for all people, and for you to make a statement that I understand that you're a virgin because you're geeky is kind of like labeling all of geeks. So I recommend that you don't make assumptions or generalize entire groups of people like so. But nonetheless, your statement is correct that in many of my videos, I have briefly mentioned that I have been celibate for several years. In fact, I have been celibate, which means no sexual activity, whether that includes masturbation or intercourse or anything of that liking. I have not done anything like that since I've been December 5th of my 18th birthday. Right when I turned 18 was the last time that's when I committed myself to celibacy, and I realized that there's going to be a lot of people watching me and they're like, dude, there's no way you can be a male, you can be celibate for several years along with not masturbating or being pertaining to sexual activity. And while you're welcome to believe that, I will be a personal testimony for myself to know that I have been celibate for that amount of years, which is 18, 19, 20, what, almost 2? I'm going to be turning 21 on December 5th, so I'm going to be almost celibate for almost 3 years. But don't worry, I already know exactly what you're thinking. You're asking the question, Daniel, why are you celibate? Why have you committed yourself to such a stupid thing? And it's quite a simple answer. And I don't know how many people are going to be able to understand this, but I'm going to try to explain it in a way that makes sense. Ooh, this is going to get personal. Personal topics. People usually don't like talking about this, but I'm going to do it. So, why I've committed myself to celibacy for the past several years is because I feel more isolated and more alone when I sit in my bedroom, turn on a monitor, look at pornography, and then by some means get a sexual pleasure, or I should say masturbate or have an orgasm from that experience. It makes me feel more isolated and alone than I already am. For those of you who don't know, I have clinical depression, and I feel very alone as it is, even living with my parents, and my brother's moved out. I'm the only person besides my parents in this house, so I'm a lone wolf a lot of the time. And when I partake in sexual activity, i.e. a masturbation, whether that be looking at pornography or whatever, it makes me feel more depressed. It makes me feel isolated and more alone than I already am. I don't know how else to explain it other than that, and quite frankly, I don't want to do things, or whether it's pleasing to me or not, that makes me feel more lonely and more isolated than I already do as an individual. Let me try to explain it this way. If I was to pull up a screen right now and watch a couple having sex, let's just say I was watching pornography of some sort, for some reason, it makes me feel more lonely because I'm seeing 2 individuals, whether it's pornography or not, make love to one another, or not necessarily love, but having sex, and they're being physical with one another, they're being passionate with one another. I'm someone who, one of my love qualities is physical affection. I'm a very physical person, and to be able to watch something and then sit alone in your bedroom and say, you know, I really wish I could have a personal connection to someone like that. Not necessarily sex, but just like a relationship-wise, it makes me feel more isolated and alone. And that's something that pornography does to me, and that's one of the reasons why I don't watch pornography hardly at all, much less I rarely even find it interesting remotely whatsoever. Now, there are going to be people who say, Daniel, you must not be a very sexual person, and I will like to stop you there and say, do not judge me as an individual, because number one, I'm a very sexual person. Although I may be celibate, believe me, I have my hormones, and I will say that I'm a very, is horny the correct word? I don't know if that's the correct context I should be using, but that's the type of person I am, but you wouldn't know that because I have very strong willpower, and I'm committed to celibacy until I get into another physical relationship with a female. That is next year, the next 5 years, or the next 30 years. I've been celibate for this amount of time, and I know I can do it for much longer if need be. Because quite frankly, feeling as if I'm more lonely than I already am, and making myself feel more isolated from the world by looking at pornography doesn't help me as an individual. Therefore, it's not an activity that I regularly do like many other people do. And I realize that people are going to say, Daniel, masturbation's healthy for you. It helps you. It raises the chance of some type of cancer or some sort. And while I agree with you, it's just not my thing unless I'm in a relationship with someone and I can be physical with that person and I can connect to that person, whether it be emotionally, physically, or whatever. But yes, I am a virgin, I am celibate, I do not watch pornography, and if I was to watch pornography, I probably wouldn't even watch two couples having sex. I always found lesbian stuff more interesting than actual heterosexual couples. But it was more specifically lesbian stuff which really interested me more than heterosexual couples having sex. I don't know why, but that's just what I was interested in the time where that was something that I did regular in my life. Secondly, as I said in the start of this video, I'm practically an open book when it comes to me as a person and talking about myself and the things that I do. And third, wow, voice pitch change. And third, it actually helps me as an individual to express my views and my stances on things, because the internet, despite popular belief, is really the only outlet that I have in order to express my views, opinions, and things that I do on a regular basis, or activities gaming. The internet, as unhealthy as it may be, is my only source of real communication to lots of people. And it helps me as an individual to make a video talking about whatever I want to talk about to you people. So judge it as you will. Yes, I'm celibate. Yes, I'm a virgin. Go ahead, make fun of me. That's perfectly fine. You wouldn't be the first. And with that said, I am Mr. Repzion, and hopefully my voice will be back in the next few days, because I plan on making videos daily like I normally do on religion, video gaming, comics, books, and Deadpool, Wade Wilson. So that said, thanks for watching. I am Mr. Repzion, also known as Daniel Sulzbach. Peace the rep out, and have a fantastic Saturday afternoon.